AI. Poetic Films.
On a snowy Christmas Eve, a man steps into the brightly lit supermarket, shaking off the cold. It's a typical festive evening, people bustling about with last-minute holiday preparations. But for him, it's just another night. The Christmas cheer somewhat lost in the chill of winter. Wandering through the aisles, he stumbles upon a woman. She doesn't notice him at first, her world filled with the hum of her own thoughts. He calls her name, and for a moment, time freezes. Recognition blooms on her face, and in her surprise she drops her purse. The contents scatter, a small chaos in the otherwise orderly supermarket. They share a laugh, a shared memory in the midst of the chaos, breaking the ice that years had built. As their laughter fades, they decide to catch up over a drink. But as it's Christmas Eve, no bars are open. Finding no other option, they buy a six-pack of beer and head to her car. The cool aluminum cans clank together, a makeshift toast to their reunion in this most peculiar of places. As they sit side by side in the car, they pop open the beers, the fizzing sound cutting through the silence of the Christmas Eve night. To innocence, they say, raising their drinks in a toast to their younger selves, to the memories of a time when life was simpler, when love was all they knew. She tells him about her life now, how she married an architect, a man who offered her a life of security but not a life of love. Her eyes, once so full of dreams and passion, now carry a hint of regret, a longing for something more. Love, she muses, isn't always about the grand gestures, the sweeping declarations. Oh, sometimes it's just about being there, about building a life together, brick by brick. He listens, his heart aching for the woman she once was and the woman she's become. He tells her about his life as a musician, about the thrill he gets from performing, from seeing the joy on the faces in the crowd as they lose themselves in his songs. But he also shares the loneliness of the road, the constant moving, the absence of a place to call home. Music, he says, is a double-edged sword. It gives, but it also takes. Their conversation is filled with nostalgia, with a shared longing for a past they can't reclaim. The beers go down a little easier now, the tension between them slowly melting away with each sip. They laugh, they reminisce, they share stories of their lives apart, but the unspoken words hang heavy in the car, a ghost of what once was. As the last can of beer is emptied, they agree it's time to part ways. But as they say their goodbyes, they both know that this fleeting moment of reconnection will linger. A memory as poignant as their first love, as bitter as their last goodbye. She starts the car, ready to drive off, but not before they share a farewell kiss. A brief moment of warmth in the midst of the frosty night, a lingering touch of lips that speaks volumes. The car's engine hums, a low, impatient growl that fills the silence between them. The man steps out of the car, the chill of the winter night seeping through his coat, but the real coldness is the space where she once was. He watches as the car pulls away, her silhouette shrinking in the rearview mirror until it disappears completely. A part of him wishes he could freeze this moment, hold on to her presence for just a little while longer, but time, as always, marches on relentlessly. His voice fills the silence she left behind, a gentle narration tinged with an undercurrent of sorrow. "We were young, full of dreams and promises," he begins, his words painting a picture of their past. "We thought we could conquer the world together, but life had other plans." He talks about their breakup, the pain sharp even after all these years. "It was like a song that ended too soon, a story left unfinished," he solemnly reminisces. "We were in love, but sometimes love is not enough." His voice trembles, raw with the regret of what could have been, of opportunities missed and roads not taken. He stands there, alone in the snow, the only witness to his melancholy confession. His breath clouds in the air, each exhale a silent testament to the warmth they once shared. He misses her, more than he would like to admit, and the weight of her absence presses heavy on his heart. But he understands that some goodbyes are necessary, that some stories are meant to remain unfinished, so he lets her go one last time, her memory fading into the quiet hush of the falling snow. As he trudges home alone, the falling snow turns into rain, mirroring his melancholy mood. And with each step he leaves behind a piece of his past. His footsteps a trail of heartache etched into the snow.
AI. Poetic Films.